As is almost always the case, I start this recollection, this gathering of observances, facts, perceptions with no definite plan. But the point is a little different in this one. It's other than just picking some event in life, it's more of a generalized. Well, I don't know. Can you take a generalized step back? It's more of a step back. Okay, step forward, step here, step there, step everywhere. Report out. Now this is more of a okay. I've stepped here, there, everywhere. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna step back out, and I'm gonna try to generalize about what it is. Boy, I hate to even use this because it's such a self-serving fucking artifice. But fuck, I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to actually say it. So you look at life. Step in, you step out. Step in, you step out. And you hope there's a safe landing somewhere if you step in something you shouldn't have stepped in. Which any good intrepid stepper, explorer does. All those mistakes. I love that book, and I wish I could remember the name of the author now. Got turned on to this book. I don't know. How long's it been now? A long time. Decade, something like that. Mistakes were made. And I don't remember if the subtitle is, or should have been, but not by me. So the implication is, yeah, something got fucked up, but it's not my fault. Mistakes were made. The ultimate fuck you and taking responsibility for what you do. Yeah, well, some mistakes were made. Wonder who made them. Boy. But you step in, you step out, you step in, you step out. And I know I'm saying that too many times because I'm trying to grab a hold of a thought pattern here. It's a little hard to step back from a specific topic that you can, make fun of and just make fun of the whole thing. Like, I'm not sure if make fun of is the appropriate way to think of it, but and it shouldn't be, actually. I mean, we're here we are. We all got put here by no choice of our own. And that's why I love Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. That scene. Where the dinner guest, played by Sidney Poitier, goes off on his father. That scene makes a lot of sense to me. And of course, I can't remember it verbatim, but the gist of it, gist, not just. It's definitely not a jest. It's a gist of it is when you decided to have me, you obligated yourself to making my life the best life it could be. I owe you nothing, and you owe me everything. And I think any child of a parent that does not accept that as truth is an abused child. We didn't ask to be here. They brought us here. They owe us everything. Now, of course, depending on our constitutions, genetic gifts, nurture and nature, we may live up to or surpass things that landmarks, goals, indices. But the bottom line is, regardless of how weak the child, how strong the child, how innovative the child, how intelligent the child, how much superior the child is to the parents who may have suffered a tough childhood, impoverished, information poor existence. They brought us here. And as a child of a world that was evolving very quickly, improving very quickly, I feel that the gifts I have been given by a general societal advancement render me someone who has to be empathetic, sympathetic, has to take pity. No matter what those parents have done, they may have been the best in the time in which they lived. And they may have given us the tools to go forth, be happy people, and do more good than harm. And hopefully, that's the way we would all love for it to work. We'd like to imagine that evolution has some, generous gifting path where, the next generation gets a little better, a little easier, a little better, a little easier, a little better, a little easier, and so on. But, clearly that's not the way it always works. But on average, clearly it has worked that way, on average. So then you have to hope. You have to hope. I would say pray, but being a non-theist, and I don't want to go into atheist and non-theist. You might as well believe in purple banana machines flying around the moon. I'm an purple banana machine flying around. All right, good for you. You fuck, you stupid fuck. But all the things. Easy to believe in the progress. When the pain is lessened, the length of lifespan has been increased. That's still one I'm going back and forth on. I don't know, maybe Maybe, 40 is a good number. Maybe 30 is a good number. Maybe 20s, if you go back to Neanderthal days or whatever. Who knows, What the hell did they drink back then? And what the hell are you going to just... Woo-hoo! They didn't have any beer, especially no, custom brews from Oregon. Boy, we live in a special time. I can't even imagine how it gets any more special than this. I mean, how much easier can it get? All I got to do is think. Imagine. And whatever I think or imagine is right there within minutes, delivered by Amazon or or Papa John's or hop on a plane and, What is the next phase? And will the generations, multiple generations of people coming up through whatever it is that is next, if it is more resource limited, will they just accept it, kind of like we did? I'm reflecting upon my own efforts. I just kind of accepted things, went along, and took advantage of things that existed. But you get the movers and shakers. So what if we get resource limited and movers and shakers get trapped and unshaken? They can't move and shake. All they can do is vibrate in place and just create a great heat that warns us all. Ooh, man, something has gone wrong. Can you feel the heat? No more progress. We're going backwards now. But then, then you got to go to what is backwards? And you got to get into all the, the euthanasia routines and all the medicine that keeps us alive way longer than we should be, where you're so fucking bored with everything. And it's like, fuck, wish an asteroid or meteorite or whatever the fuck. I forget which one it is. Please hit me. Take me out. Take me out now. I'm bored. Tired of watching my children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great. Oh, this is boring the shit out of me. If that motherfucker kicks that ball one more time through the hoop, woo-hoo, I think I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna fucking murder my great-grandson. Yeah, barbecue him. Some baby rays. Yeah. Clearly there's no ideal. As the human personality is malleable and the human perception is fallible, and the human experience is a mess, depending on who you get yourself involved with and who's fucking who, when, and where, and so on and so forth, and, resources. We're never going to agree on an ideal time frame, but I would say that, and this is where you have to go dark. And I don't mean go turn off the lights. I mean, it's where you have to get dark. Now, all these people that commit suicide is painless. the MASH song. Well, clearly there are mistakes in perception, and somebody else might have said, come along with the solution and say, oh, you could have lived a little more happily if you'd done this and done that and so on. But it really is up to the individual. Is this worth doing? And I would say, who knows, We haven't lived that long, don't plan to live that long, but what if somebody could live 200-300 years? Maybe they'd find some kind of I don't know what they'd find. That's why it's a mystery. And that's why I can't imagine it. But I think we already have too long of a lifespan. People get bored and they get sick and they suffer, and everybody in the family suffers, watching them suffer. Now, I guess there's, some value in that. It's like, oh, I appreciate my life after I'm watching my great-grandmother. Oh, she's bleeding. She's bleeding out of her eyes. She's so, she cries all the time, and she rolls on the ground in the dog shit. Yeah, of course, But clearly, and I actually use that word purposefully, there seems to be a divide. There seems to be an apex. Seems to be a peak. And sometimes, the peak does not require a great effort to ascend to. It's just a gradual progression across fairly level land where one enacts the rote over and over again until one finds the rote too oppressive. Now, that is the worst case scenario. Most of us find some exciting days in life. We're working towards something, and most of us achieve something that we think how do you put this? That we think is worthwhile, challenging, and makes us, stand out in the minds of our fellow humans. Look at me! Look at me! Look what I did! But of course, we have the limited scope, the limited duration of health, and things do degrade. The quality of life degrades. The hopes, the wishes, the dreams. And we, I guess, I don't know, I'm still on that road, starting to have some issues. And I guess most of us end up going out suffering and causing others to suffer in the immediate term, in the empathic way. And does that make their lives better? Do they go out and live a little harder, a little faster, a little more? Do they love? I guess. Life is what it is. And while the scientists Last time I checked, they said there are 7 mechanisms of death that can all be overcome, and then you can live forever. Oh, shit. No thanks. No thanks. Even if they had a big, giant, fucking like blimp size machine filled with testosterone, and they were pumping me full of it, and I made me want every young girl on the planet. So that brings me to another topic. So as you get older, I'm 63 as of the time of this recording, about to turn 64 in just a few days. I sowed some oats, at college, a little bit earlier, mostly college, and then a few years afterwards. And I was, I was a guy who liked women, loved women, did a lot of loving to women, so a tongue and all. And but I kept it under the hood, kept it under control. I became a high school, I became a middle school teacher, the high school teacher, and suddenly, even if you didn't have sisters and brothers, and as a child, which I did, but it's a long story. Suddenly, you look at things quite differently, and you become the parent for all those kids in your classes, and then you have to go back out into the world of non-teachers, where you have, and I don't want to exaggerate this, but you just have this, I'm not sure how to refer to it, way of thinking, just a guy's guy thing, oh man, I'd like to do her. I mean, look at that. Oh, I love that ass. Oh, look at that young thing turns me on. Well, boy, you just can't hang out with those people anymore. Once you're a parent to, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 500 girls, and the counterparts, the boys. Of course, they're always going to be horny little motherfuckers. Going to try to get some, but that's different. That's the human way, but you get a whole bunch of older folks out there that are just fucking disgusting. Just thinking of these kids as sex objects, it's just fucking disgusting. So it makes it easy to pick your friends. It makes it easy to pick your enemies. Now that I'm retired, not in the teaching community anymore, I'm encountering these old fucking perverts. And I think some of it's said in jest, probably half of them couldn't fucking get a hard on if, a truckload of fucking Cialis fell on their head, or Viagra, whatever the fuck it is. So some of it's bravado, some of it's, reminiscence, and some of it's just fucking plain insanity and mental illness. These kids are These kids are going to go out. They're going to meet somebody they love. They're going to fall in love, and they're going to probably, get their jobs and have their kids and go through 2 or 3 divorces and, split up fight over the toaster. And I get the toaster. You can have the dog. I want the toaster. Would it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we were na 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 na? Wouldn't it be nice if we could go back to the simple times of the Beach Boys? Of course, they seem simple to us because we were children and we were not dealing with all of the interrelating, consequential, difficult factors that go into creating a substantial relationship that can last through time. So it was really nice when we were ignorant and we thought we'd live happily ever after. And some people do. It's not going to be storybook for most people, but hell, I think I hope, I speculate, I wish upon a star that there are relationships that are actually better, more beautiful than anything that has been imagined in the most romantic of movies. And I'm pretty sure there are. So how do you get there? How do you get there? I don't know, but I think that's a good question to start with. If there are these relationships, this love between 2 people and the kids, that are even more magical than the greatest fantasies of the greatest writers that have presented us the most what's the word? Those romantic comedies where we all cry. Or just romance. Nights in Rodanthe. I don't know if you've ever seen Nights in Rodanthe, the Will Gere movie. Yeah, it's not even one of the better ones, but it is enough. I mean, what a magic love story that was. And that just comes to mind. It's random. There are thousands of great movies, but I'll bet there are love stories that are so far beyond. I mean, pretty much everybody in my family has been divorced. But one pair of my maternal side, great-grandmother, remarried, and great-grandfather, maternal side, we all lived in the same complex. Great-grandfather lived in a little 1-bedroom house, and great-grandmother lived with her new husband in a 2-bedroom house next door, and they lived for, forget how long it was, 50 years, once she got remarried to my step-great-grandfather, whatever, I don't know what you call him. And, but boy, they were a happy couple, and they were fun to hang out with, and they were always interesting to sit down to dinner with. They always had something to say. They were always laughing, and they were always touching each other. And so there are things to hope for, things to aspire to. Maybe, maybe I have been unfairly burdened with unrealistic expectations, having witnessed, one of the rare relationships in life that is magical. But why not try? And with such great role models, blazing a path, showing me the step by step, the day to day, the word by word, the good morning, honey, how are you? Well, who knows? Maybe someday I'll be an example. Though I'm getting kind of old. Don't have any kids or grandkids, so that's okay. I had my 10,000 kids while teaching. Just won't be able to demonstrate a good relationship. And probably will never have one. Make it this far, there's probably some wrench thrown in the gears somewhere, and you might put on your reading glasses and lean down in there and say, well, where's that wrench? There's something seems to be in the gears of the love respect machine. I gotta find this thing. Not yet. Haven't found it. And clearly, fewer reasons to develop relationships late in life. Becomes more work than anything else. You have to grow together, which everybody will freely admit. Okay, well, that's kind of limiting, I guess. I don't know. But maybe the limits are appropriate. Maybe we should not just be free to go out and continually experience new things alone and grow away from the people around us and find ourselves feeling very so unique. I'm so unique and I'm fucking alone. And then you die alone.